It is my distinct pleasure this morning to introduce our breakfast speaker. Kris Warner was elected West Virginia's 31st Secretary of State on November 5th, 2024. A proud West Virginian, he was raised in Kanawha County and attended West Virginia University. Kris previously served as chairman of the Mountaineer County Republican Executive Committee and as chairman of the West Virginia Republican Party from 2000 to 2004. From 2012 to 2016, he served as West Virginia's national committeeman to the Republican National Committee. In 2017, President Donald Trump appointed Kris as West Virginia State Director for the USDA Rural Development. In that role, he led efforts to partner with state and local governments on more than $1.2 billion in investments over 4 years. In 2021, Governor Jim Justice appointed Kris as the Executive Director of the West Virginia Economic Development Authority. He worked closely with the governor and state legislature to advance economic development initiatives supported by more than $2 billion in strategic state investments. As Secretary of State, Kris serves as West Virginia's Chief Elections Officer and Chief Business Registration Officer. Under his leadership, the Office of Entrepreneurship was established as the nation's first statewide entrepreneurship ombudsman, reporting to a statewide election official. The Office of Entrepreneurship coordinates public and private resources and helps business founders navigate state agencies and permitting processes. In September 2025, Kris was appointed co-chair of the Elections Committee for the National Association of Secretaries of State. Kris and his wife Joyce, a public school teacher in Kanawha County, have been married for 37 years. They have 5 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters, all of whom attended the United States Air Force Academy. They also have 4 grandchildren. Please give a rousing Mountaineer Boys State welcome to your Secretary of State, Mr. Kris Warner.
Good morning. It's great to be amongst the best and brightest in West Virginia this morning. I woke up yesterday morning, never thought this job would bring this, but I woke up yesterday morning to death threats on something that our office is really not even responsible for. It had something to do with data centers, and some of those in the Eastern Panhandle are pretty rabid about that. But on behalf of the great state of West Virginia, I congratulate each and every one of you for being selected to attend the 87th Annual American Legion Mountaineer Boys State. Without any doubt, American Legion's Boys State is the premier leadership program for high school students anywhere in the nation, and certainly here in West Virginia. Each of you here today has been selected to attend one of the most respected educational and leadership programs in the country. I want to let you know before I go any further, we're going to give you an opportunity here when we're done to get a business card from us. I want to be able to write a letter of recommendation for you. For any of you, whether it's trying to get into college, whether it's a summer internship, whether it's graduate school down the road, I want you to have my business card. I want you to call on me if we can write a letter of recommendation, and we'll talk about how we met here at Boys State. But I know how hard it is to get a letter of recommendation at your age, and I want to be able to be there for you. You should be very proud of being here at Mountaineer Boys State. I want you to not only be proud of that when you leave here, but I only want you to be proud of it for about 5 minutes. Then I want you to take what you learned here this week and go do something with it. Since 1936, the American Legion has hosted Mountaineer Boys State in an effort to introduce young men to local, county, state, and federal government. More importantly, Boys State teaches the good government, the best government, comes from citizen participation, a lesson that everyone will learn this week. The underlying premise of good government is citizen participation. And in our constitutional republic, eligible citizens only get 1 vote. No one gets more than 1 vote in this country. President Donald Trump, he has 1 vote. Taylor Swift, she has 1 vote. Boys State Director Robbie Robinson, he's got one vote. I've got one vote when I show up at the ballot box. On Election Day in America, or in West Virginia, we all get one vote. When you return home on Saturday, you'll have a much better understanding of the true meaning of citizen participation in the election process, community involvement, and public service. My hope is that you will take what you learn here this week as citizens of Boys State to become engaged citizens of your hometown, your county, and your state. As the Secretary of State, I'm the Chief Elections Official for the state of West Virginia. It is my job to work with our 55 county clerks to administer a statewide election with state-of-the-art equipment. We have 1,684 precincts, voting precincts in West Virginia, and we had more than 8,200 poll workers that we worked with on Election Day. And along the way, we worked together to encourage voter registration to ensure voter participation in our election process. I'm very proud to tell you that since I took office just 17 months ago, West Virginia has registered more than 40,000 new voters. Of that 40,000 new voters, 18,000 plus were high school seniors, just like you're going to be this next year. Within the next year, most of you, if not all of you, will turn 18 years of age. So if you're 18 right now, or if you're going to be 18 before the next general election, which is in November, you're eligible to go ahead and register to vote. West Virginia has a unique history with voting rights in America. It was United States Senator Jennings Randolph, the senator from Salem, West Virginia, and Harrison County, who fought for 29 years to reduce the voting age from 21 to 18. Your American history and civics teacher will tell you that in 1942, World War II was raging in Europe. America was engaged and more of our troops were needed to represent the United States and help our allies. In November 1941, then President Franklin Roosevelt, by executive order, in the stroke of his pen in an effort to recruit more troops prepared to fight in the war, reduced the military draft age from 21 to 18 years of age. In 1941, the voting age was 21. Just 3 months after, then President Roosevelt reduced the military draft age to 18. Then Congressman Jennings Randolph stood on the floor of Congress and declared to President Roosevelt and his colleagues, "Mr. President, if these young men are old enough to be forced into military service, to fight and perhaps die for their country, then they're old enough to vote for the leaders who make those decisions to go to war." Randolph said if they're old enough for bullets, then they're old enough for ballots. But in 1941, President Roosevelt and Congress would not reduce the voting age to 18. So in 1942, Jennings Randolph introduced legislation to create the 26th Amendment to the United States Constitution to guarantee U.S. citizens who were 18, 19, and 20 years old the right to vote. The legislation didn't pass. Does anyone know when the 26th Amendment was finally passed? Raise a hand. When did the 26th Amendment to the Constitution pass? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. Thank you. I got something for you when we're done. Come up and see me, all right? You got a gold West Virginia pen. I appreciate you for participating. So in 1971, 29 years after the draft age was reduced from 21 to 18, during the height of the Vietnam War, Senator Randolph's legislation to create the 26th Amendment was passed by Congress and then ratified by the states. It was considered such an important voting rights issue of the time that President Richard Nixon signed the 26th Amendment into law at the White House during the July 4th celebration in 1971. It took Jennings Randolph of West Virginia nearly 3 decades to get 18, 19, and 20-year-olds the right to vote. But he never gave up on young adults. He believed that young adults needed to be engaged and active in the election process. And making you old enough to vote also made you old enough to hold public office. I'm here right now this morning at Jackson's Mill to tell each one of you that Senator Jennings Randolph's legacy is still alive and well in West Virginia. We want young people to get involved. I want to tell you about Sarah Blair. In 2014, a 17-year-old at Hedgesville High School, she was elected to serve Berkeley County in the West Virginia House of Delegates. Sarah was elected at the age of 17 in the primary election, but she turned 18 before the November general election, when her legislative term was ready to then begin in January. Still today, Delegate Sarah Blair of West Virginia is the youngest citizen ever to be elected to any state legislature in the history of our country. Just 7 days before his 19th birthday, Caleb Hanna of Nicholas County won election to the West Virginia House of Delegates in November of 2018. To this day, Delegate Hanna of West Virginia is the youngest Black American ever to be elected to any state legislature in the history of our country. One more I want to tell you about is Josh Holstein. He was elected at the age of 18. He now serves in the West Virginia legislature. He's 23 years of age. He is the youngest American ever to be elected as a state party chairman in the entire country of either major political party, and he still serves in the West Virginia legislature. One more note that I think is important. On February 11, 1972, Ella Mae Thompson Haddix of Randolph County became the first 18-year-old to register to vote in the history of the United States. She was personally escorted by Senator Jennings Randolph to the courthouse in Elkins to register to vote. By far, the most important role that I serve is to oversee, manage, and deploy our election process. Making elections secure and ensuring that elections are safe, fair, secure, and honest and accurate increases voter confidence and leads to more voter participation. I could go on about the great job that I've been elected to, but we're on limited time this morning. So I want to offer each one of you this very special challenge, and I want you to listen up on this one. The Secretary of State's office hosts the Jennings Randolph Award for Student-Led Civic Engagement. This award has been recognized nationally and is considered one of the most prestigious student awards in the United States. The Jennings Randolph Award is given to any West Virginia high school that hosts a student-led voter registration drive and registers at least 85% of their high school seniors to vote. Principals at the high schools that earn the award can then nominate 2 seniors who helped lead the effort to be named as honorary secretaries of state. Those students are invited to come to Charleston in January and February to be recognized by the West Virginia legislature. Here with me today are our 4 field representatives from my office who manage the Jennings Randolph program. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized so they can all see you. Tracy McComas from southwest portion of the state. Sarah Smith from the northwest portion of the state. Lexi Brown, the northeast part of the state. And Steve Snyder from the southeast. So I want you to refer to the map you got when you came in, the color-coded map. You're going to see who your representative is. When we're done here and we go outside, those representatives are going to be out there to greet you. As you come out the front door, to the far left will be Sarah Smith from the north. Tracy McComas will be center left from the west. Lexi Brown will be in the third segment of the grass out here in front. And then to the far right will be Stephen Snyder. These 4 field reps are here today to meet those of you who want your school to earn the Jennings Randolph Award for the 26-27 school year. Accept my challenge, return to your high schools in the fall and get your senior classmates registered to vote. Being selected to be here at Boys State makes you a citizen of Boys State. registering you to vote takes you from being a resident of West Virginia to being a citizen of West Virginia. There are many other duties of the Secretary of State in West Virginia. I serve as the state's chief business registration official. My staff and I help entrepreneurs and business owners by making it easy to be able to start a new business in West Virginia. I'm proud to tell you that on July 1st, the newly created West Virginia Office of Entrepreneurship opens under the Secretary of State's office. If you're already an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur or small business owner, I want you to follow up with the West Virginia Office of Entrepreneurship. I'm the keeper of the state seal. I certify legislation when it passes, and my office keeps track of the business of state government. On Thursday at the state capitol in Charleston, my office will help those of you that have been elected governor, a member of the Board of Public Works, delegates, senators, and justices. I look forward to seeing each of you on Thursday in Charleston. I want to conclude by offering my sincere thanks to the American Legion and to the adult leaders here at Boys State, year in and year out, dedicated your time and talents to these incredible young men. In the room today, right here at Jackson Mill, are future mayors and council members, school board presidents, sheriffs, clerks, recorders, judges, legislators, a Secretary of State, but you don't want to be Secretary of State too soon. You can do that in a little bit of time. A governor and perhaps even a United States senator or president. Before I conclude and take questions, I'd like to recognize the adult leaders and Mountaineer Boys State staff for their work and dedication. They have to manage this event each and every year. Adult leaders, please stand and be recognized. One more time. Thank you, guys. So I want to take questions. Anything on your mind, you got a free shot. Yes, sir. No, there's no limit on the number of schools that are eligible for the Jennings-Randolph Award. Each year, I think our staff were in 58 high schools this last year. I was in 37 high schools personally, but we still had less than 20 that qualified for the Jennings-Randolph Award.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Other questions? Yes, sir. What cabin? What's the question again?
What did you do before you became Secretary of State?
I was in private enterprise for 30 years. I built a real estate business in Morgantown. I got hit by the financial collapse of 2007, 2008. We had just built a $30 million building, fully rented. The bank called the note due, and it was next to impossible to find $30 million in the middle of that collapse when you had, companies, going south and going bankrupt. I then was appointed by President Trump to lead the USDA rural development in West Virginia. We're very proud of the fact over the 4 years that we attracted just over $2 billion with a B to West Virginia. Doubled the amount of federal dollars coming to West Virginia while I was there in that office. Then I was appointed by Governor Justice to lead the West Virginia Economic Development Authority and had a similar success there. We convinced the West Virginia legislature to invest $600 million with us that we then turned around and lent out to small businesses, large businesses, to help grow those businesses and grow jobs in West Virginia. And then I took a year of my time, free time, evenings, weekends, to campaign for Secretary of State, crisscrossed the state, and was elected Secretary of State. I've been in office about 18 months.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Yes?
Well, my daughter Monroe Cottage, what inspired you to get into government,
You know, I had an older brother that's now deceased. I asked him once upon a time, how do you know when it's time to run for public office? And he told me, you know, we're all residents of West Virginia. And he said, you know, to become a citizen, you need to register to vote and actually show up and go vote. He then said, you know, someday you'll become an activist. And he goes, you're going to either want to try to defeat a candidate or help elect a candidate to public office. And he goes, at that point, you become an activist. He goes, and someday you're going to wake up, you're going to look and see whoever's in public office, you could do a better job than them. Or if it's an open seat, you're going to look and realize you could do a better job than that person. And he goes, that's the time that you got to run for public office. And it's exactly what happened to me. I woke up, saw the front page of the newspaper in Charleston, and realized I'd been, number one, I'd been a county chairman in Montague County in my party. I became state chairman. We challenged every race for the House of Delegates, every race for the state Senate. And we started raising money to help candidates get elected. It was a one-party state for 83 years when I became state chairman, and we started challenging every one of those races. We also opened up the Republican primary to unaffiliated voters to come in. The party started growing. Finally, in 2014, we took the majority, and we now have a supermajority in the House, the Senate, every statewide Board of Public Works office, and every federal office in West Virginia is from my political party. So we'd like to think that that was it was a team effort of elected leaders. But when I woke up one morning and realized a guy had been of the opposite political party, switched parties, and filed to run for Secretary of State on the same day, I said, not in my party. So I filed about 2 weeks later and worked my butt off, raised a bunch of money, crisscrossed the state, almost $500,000 to be elected. Thank you. Yes, sir.
John McAvoy from Cabbage. What's your favorite part about being Secretary of State?
You know, no matter where I go, I get compliments about our team, our field team that's here with us today, our communications team. We have the smallest staff in state government. We have 51 employees. There's some of the other Board of Public Works offices that have hundreds of employees. But I tell you, we outshine them every single day when it comes to customer service. So, you know, receiving the compliments every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, I get to go back, have a staff meeting, and let them know about the compliments that I've received from all around the state. And I travel the state extensively, and so, you know, it's rewarding, makes it all worthwhile to have taken every free moment I had for over a year to be elected to office, to be able to hear about the job these guys are doing. They do a phenomenal job. Leaders, tell me if we're running out of time. Any other questions? Yep. So we have small stickers for you outside. The field reps have those for you. They're great for putting on the back of a laptop computer. I want to call on the two Secretary of State candidates, Shane Burkhart, Leroy Song. If you guys will come up, you guys get, since we're the keeper of the seal, you guys get large seals. So come on up. Hold on, Rose, for me. All right, so here you go, guys. All right, turn around. Hey, I'm glad the cameras were here to catch that tumble. So, guys, when we go outside, you're going to get a small state seal sticker. You're going to be able to talk to the field reps if you want to go back to your school and lead the Jennings-Randolph award effort with the voter registration drive. Thank you very much for having me this morning. greatly enjoyed being with, again, the brightest and best in West Virginia. See you.